It has been more than a year since we first started bringing you stories about the graffiti-covered towers in downtown LA. Those vandalized buildings are still there.
Well, Mark and Giovanna, construction stopped on the so-called graffiti towers all the way back in 2019. And last year, City Council took action to get all that graffiti cleaned up. So why is nearly every floor still tagged from top to bottom?
In the event if they don't do it, then we will do it for him and we will stiff him with the bill.
In the heart of downtown Los Angeles, 3 skeletal giants pierce the skyline like forgotten dreams turned nightmares. Their exposed concrete bones splashed with vibrant chaos from floor to ceiling. This is Oceanwide Plaza, a $1.2 billion collapse that started as a glittering promise of luxury living and ended in bankruptcy, abandonment, and a canvas for urban rebels who turned it into the most infamous eyesore in the city. Right across from Crypto.com Arena, where stars strut on red carpets, these graffiti towers stand unfinished, mocking the boom and bust reality of American real estate. For Angelenos and anyone watching from afar, it's a stark reminder of how fast fortunes flip billions poured in, then vanished, leaving a scar that's costing taxpayers millions just to contain the fallout. Today, we're peeling back the layers on this catastrophe. The hype that built it, the crash that killed it, the street artist who claimed it, and the endless limbo that's got everyone from City Hall to potential buyers scratching their heads. This isn't just a story of bricks and mortar. It's about the fragility of our urban ambitions, the hidden costs of global finance, and what happens when a project's too big to fail but fails anyway. Flashback to 2014, when Los Angeles was buzzing with that post-recession glow, developers from around the world eyeing the city as the next gold rush. Enter Oceanwide Holdings, a Beijing powerhouse in real estate, flush with cash from China's red-hot property market. They scooped up a massive parking lot on Figueroa Street for $150 million, prime real estate staring down LA, live the entertainment epicenter with its Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena, and a swarm of hotels, restaurants, and nightlife that draws millions every year. The vision? A 3-tower masterpiece designed by the firm Callison RTKL, 2 residential skyscrapers, 149 stories tall, the other 40 crowned with a luxurious hotel, all wrapped in glass and steel, promising 700 high-end condos and apartments, plus retail spaces for upscale shops and eateries. At the base, a public plaza with fountains and green spaces to lure pedestrians and boost the neighborhood's vibe. Total price tag, over $1 billion initially, ballooning to $1.2 billion as costs climbed. Ground broke in 2015, amid fanfare city officials hailed it as a shot in the arm for downtown's revitalization, a symbol of LA's global pull. Construction hummed along for 4 years. Cranes swinging, workers buzzing like bees in a hive. By 2018, the towers were rising fast, their frames a thrilling sight against the sunset, whispering promises of skyline-defining luxury. For locals, it was validation. Los Angeles wasn't just Hollywood and beaches. It was a world-class metropolis attracting international titans. Oceanwide poured in hundreds of millions, funded partly by EB-5 visas, those golden tickets for foreign investors, promising U.S. green cards in exchange for job-creating projects. Everyone was winning, or so it seemed. But cracks appeared in 2019, subtle at first, like hairline fractures in concrete. China's economy, the engine behind Oceanwide's empire, started sputtering. A massive debt bubble in real estate was bursting, developers over-leveraged on loans, ghost cities sprouting in the countryside, and Beijing cracking down with credit curbs to prevent a full meltdown. Oceanwide, like many, got squeezed. Payments to contractors dried up overnight. In January 2019, work ground to a halt. Cranes froze mid-air, scaffolding dangled like limp flags, and the site went dark. The tower stood at about 70% complete, exteriors roughed in. Interiors, a hollow maze of rebar and dangling wires, but no windows, no finishes, just raw exposure to the elements. Rain seeped in, rust bloomed on steel beams, and weeds poked through cracks in the foundation. The bankruptcy filing hit like a thunderclap. Oceanwide holdings in U.S. court, owing $240 million to Lend-Lease, the Australian giant handling construction, plus tens of millions to EB5 investors who'd bet their savings on American dreams. Creditors circled like vultures trade suppliers, local governments for back taxes, even the city for cleanup costs. What was pitched as a beacon of prosperity became a $1.2 billion albatross, with estimates now pegging completion at another $800 million to $2 billion, factoring in inflation, repairs, and modern code upgrades. For American audiences, this hits close. It's the story of foreign capital flooding our shores, propping up development, then pulling out when their house of cards wobbles, leaving U.S. workers jobless and taxpayers holding the bag. The silence didn't last. By 2020, with the pandemic slamming cities worldwide, downtown LA emptied out, offices shuttered, tourism tanked, and the remote work exodus turned bustling streets into echoes. Oceanwide Plaza, already a ghost, became a magnet for the restless. Urban explorers snuck in first, posting shaky drone footage of the vertigo-inducing heights, the vast emptiness echoing like a sci-fi set. Then came the daredevils, base jumpers leaping from ledges, parachutes blooming against the LA sky, and viral clips that racked up millions of views. But the real takeover started in late January 2024, when word spread among the city's graffiti crews. These weren't random tags. It was a coordinated assault, artists rappelling down sheer faces, scaling scaffolds with cans in hand, turning the towers into a 27-story mural of rebellion. Bold letters in electric blues, fiery reds, and acid yellows splashed across floors, names like Acre, Endem, and wild pieces twisting into abstract fury. One crew hit the tallest tower overnight, covering more than 25 levels in a single blitz, their work visible for miles, a defiant middle finger to the abandonment. "This building has needed love for years," one artist told reporters, echoing a sentiment that resonated far beyond the streets. For graffiti veterans, it was cathartic, a blank canvas in plain sight, ignored by suits but screaming for expression. Criminologist Stefano Bloch, a former tagger himself, put it bluntly, respect the effort to reclaim space nobody else cares about. The LAPD scrambled, making arrests for trespassing, but it was too late. The damage was iconic. From the Grammys' red carpet just blocks away, celebrities gawked at the spectacle, turning Oceanwide into a global punchline and a gritty emblem of LA's dual soul glamour and grit intertwined. The graffiti didn't just beautify the blight, it amplified the mess, forcing the city into damage control. Los Angeles Council member Gil Cedillo, representing the district, decried it as a safety hazard vandalism, inviting more break-ins, potential for accidents from unstable structures. The city council ponied up $3.8 million in February 2024 for razor wire fencing, 24-hour patrols, and pressure washing crews armed with industrial solvents to scrub the tags. But it's a Sisyphean task. New art pops up almost as fast as it's erased, and the sheer scale, hundreds of thousands of square feet, means it'll cost tens of millions more to fully cleanse before any buyer steps in. Taxpayers foot the bill, a bitter pill for residents already grappling with housing shortages and crumbling infrastructure. Beyond aesthetics, the site's a liability. Rodents nest in the shadows, water pools on unfinished floors breeding mold, and seismic worries loom in earthquake country. Neighbors in nearby high-rises complain of the view, the noise from occasional intrusions, and the drag on property values. Yet some see poetry in the decay, a commentary on capitalism's excesses where billion-dollar bets go bust, leaving art to fill the void. For everyday Americans tuning in, this underscores a bigger unease. Our cities, engines of opportunity, are at the mercy of volatile global markets. One developer's crisis in Beijing ripples to Figueroa Street, stalling jobs for local plumbers and electricians, inflating rents elsewhere as supply stalls. As 2024 wore on, the bankruptcy auction kicked into gear, a drawn-out spectacle in federal court. Oceanwide's U.S. arm, under court supervision, hired brokers like Hilco Real Estate to shop the carcass. Bidding started low around $100 million for the land and partial builds, but experts warn any taker faces a Herculean lift. Finish the towers? You'd need to seal the exteriors against weather, wire for electricity, plumb for water, and comply with post-pandemic codes for energy efficiency and fire safety. The hotel component alone could swallow $500 million, with luxury branding elusive in a softening market. Demolish and start over? That's $300 million in wrecking balls and environmental remediation, plus years of permits in a city allergic to big teardowns. Potential suitors whisper, local firms like related companies who've revived stalled projects before, or institutional investors eyeing affordable housing conversions with tax breaks. In July 2024, whispers hit the Wall Street Journal of a mystery California developer in talks to buy and complete per the original blueprint luxury units for the ultra-wealthy, perhaps with a nod to the graffiti history as urban art installations. Architect Douglas Hanson floated wild ideas. Wrap the east faces in fabric screens printed with ads or murals, turning eyesore into billboard. But 8 months later, into 2025, the sale drags like a bad sequel, no bids sealed. Creditors haggling over scraps. Oceanwide owes $600 million total, including city reimbursements for security. EB5 investors, many Chinese families chasing the American dream, are suing for refunds, their visas in jeopardy. It's a legal quagmire, with hearings stretching into summer, mirroring the broader chill in cross-border deals post-COVID and US-China tensions. So here we are, November 2025. The towers still looming, their graffiti faded but fierce under relentless sun. No one's finished them, but the story's far from over. Will a savior emerge to polish this diamond in the rough? Or will it stand as a monument to hubris, a graffiti testament to what happens when ambition outruns reality? In Los Angeles, where reinvention is religion, bet on the former but brace for the bill. This $1.2 billion saga shows our skylines are built on dreams as fragile as they are bold. And when they crumble, it's all of us picking up the pieces.